Guillaume met.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
As we're on, I'm going to log in to the group to make sure.
Let it time. Give them a few seconds to get Nick to post it to YouTube and Instagram. It takes a little bit after we go live.
All right.
And then you'll start seeing people comment.
Yeah, we've got some people. Hi, Rachel. Hi, KB. Hi, Carrie. We have some ladies that join us every single day for these things. Every day. They're so devoted. They're wonderful. Right. Kenzie's on. So I'll give them just like a couple seconds to come in. And in case any of you have a hard time seeing us on Facebook, you can see us on YouTube, on Instagram today too, the Facebook group, the Facebook page, and we'll make sure we save this. I know it's really early California time, so a lot of our like Pacific West Coasters may not be able to join, so we'll make sure we save it to the group and to our Facebook page so you can watch it later. So people are getting like their kids to school and things like that. Well, we're really excited to have these two amazing gentlemen here, and I've met them both in person, and they're just some of my most favorite people in the rose business. I have to say that Mateus is one of the most passionate people I've ever met for roses, and has a spunk to him that I just loved every time I've met you. And I'm so excited to be able to sell your roses under our name. That's like such a big honor. It's something I never dreamed of when I started Grace Rose Farm 10 years ago. I never dreamed that. Of course, I've been selling your roses, Francis Meilland and the Romanticas for a decade and growing your roses, but I never dreamed that Star and Meilland would give us the gift of being able to offer your roses exclusively to our amazing customers. So it's such an honor. It almost makes me like want to cry because it's incredible honor to be able to do that. So Mateus,
it's our honor.
What? I'm sorry.
It's our honor. Actually, we're really proud. It's really great.
Well, thank you. And it's all because Heidi joined us last year, and Heidi has been working with Meilland for many years through Star Roses and Plants, and Heidi has such wonderful relationships in the industry that she's basically able to get us anything we want.
I don't know about that, but trying.
So everyone loves Heidi, and so it's been such a wonderful experience so far. And we have more Meilland roses that we're not even going to talk about today, but will be coming down the pipeline. Maybe talk a little bit about today, but coming down in the future too. So we're so excited. And Guillaume is here too. Guillaume, I met you for the first time in October. We were out at our Better Bear Root Growers farm out in Bakersfield. And I think you were doing selections. You were looking at the research and development. And it was such an honor to meet you too. And he is a breeder at Meilland. So I would love to know a little bit I'd love for you to tell everyone a little bit about what you're doing now and the history of the breeding and just, yeah.
We start with that? Yeah.
Yeah. Go
ahead. So how do we breed a variety? So it's a long story. So the first step to create a variety is to know what you want, because as you know, rose, you can go in every direction and you can do a lot with roses, with climbers, with miniature, big flower, hybrid tea, etc. So the first is to define an objective. For example, today, one of the big objectives is to have a wide hybrid tea with fragrance, big flower, nice fragrance, good disease tolerance, compact, and it's a big objective which nobody really has now. So we select genitors, fathers and mothers with different characteristics, which we try to combine to have all what we want in a new variety. Of course, it never works. So we make multiple tests in every direction to try to get what we want. For example, we can cross for this objective of white fragrant hybrid tea. We can use a red mother without fragrance but compact and nice foliage, and we can cross it with a yellow one with fragrance and maybe better blooming. We cross them together and we try to have around 100 seedling, 100 offspring, and we will observe them during multiple years to try to see if in the offspring there is one which is looking like what we want. So it takes minimum 10 years to make selection. Like it will stay first 3-4 years in France to make the first selection. First in the greenhouse, because when we have babies, like every baby, we want to protect them. So we keep them in a greenhouse, and we have a very specific greenhouse for the babies because we have a moving greenhouse. It means like the first year, the babies are inside the greenhouse. Idea is to see it. And the next year, as we want to see all the babies also outside, we move the greenhouse. I think we are the only one to do that. And then, so we make some selections and we keep all the seedlings the first 2 years, and then we select maybe 10% of all the seedlings. Doing more years, we observe them. And then, for example, for the US, after 3 years after germination, we send them to the US. We send around 200 varieties a year to the US because when you cross the Atlantic, you never know what will happen. Even if one variety is amazing in Europe, when you cross the Atlantic, it's not the same climate, it's the same disease, etc. It's also not exactly the same taste for the consumer. So we have to test a lot of varieties also in the US to see if it fits US market, what you want, what you like, and what grows there. So it's another maybe minimum 5-6 years of observation in the US before deciding to introduce a variety. And then we have to propagate to find a name. So it's another 2, 3, 4 years. So yeah, it's minimum 10 years before the ID, the crossing, and the introduction in the market.
I remember when I visited you guys and you showed me the moving greenhouse for the first time. I was like, what do you mean it moves? And there's like these rails, and they literally just, that's how so they don't have to move all the plants out. It was incredible. It was really interesting.
One of the questions that we got yesterday on my live, and we get all the time, is about the trialing of the roses. And what we were telling people is that, like, we're so proud to introduce your roses through Star Roses and Plants because of all of the importers and all of the American companies that are selling roses. Star Roses and Plants does the longest trialing after they come from Europe, right? So they're already here in this country 6, 7, 8 years being trialed in Pennsylvania and then out in California for a long time. So we know that not only a decade it was in Europe that it took you to find the plant and to do all of that, that the plant is going to really work for people here. And that's something that we're really proud of to be able to offer, is not just, we found a rose, we're going to put our name on it, right? Like this is a rose that's gone through a lot of trialing, and that's something that we know that people will love. So
yeah, we want everybody to be happy with the variety, so we want to be sure that the variety grows everywhere. So we have a very important trial network. So we will start with Europe. In Europe, we have 3 main fields. So one is in southern France, where we are based. So it's a Mediterranean climate. We'll say it's close to California, quite dry with some mild winter, and hot and dry summer. We have one in central France, in Lyon, if you know where it is, middle of France, where it's more continental, so cold winter and mild summer and humid. And we have one in northern Germany, in Hamburg, so close to Denmark, where it's more oceanic climate, so cold and humid in summer and quite cold in winter. Maybe you can have this climate in the West Coast, north of the US.
Uh-huh.
And then we test also all our varieties in Pennsylvania, where is based Star Roses and plants. So there, summer are hot and humid, and winter are cold, but it's a climate you have a lot in the US. So it's a very good climate for diseases, for black spot, for Cercospora. A little bit more difficult for roses, but if it grows there,
We hear that from our East Coast customers, that they have a whole set of difficulties that we don't face out here in California. I'm a fair weather rose grower. I will say that. I've only grown roses in California, so I'm.
We always have considered that California is a different area for rose selection.
Oh yeah.
Really.
Yeah. I mean, you just
that was always the strategy.
You don't have to do anything here. Nothing.
No. It's like in our place.
Nothing.
It's like in the south of France.
Yeah.
You plant, it grows.
Black spot, you don't. Yeah, it's.
Yeah. We get a little mildew in the spring.
Yeah, but
from the ocean, we get a little bit of powdery, but
it's the same.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of problems here.
Yeah. And so we have a specific field for coastal California where we test them. And then when Star Roses wants to introduce a variety, they also have a world trial network around the US. And maybe it's maybe 10 gardens all over the US.
I think it's 14 maybe.
Yeah, maybe 14.
I think.
Wow. So roses are tested everywhere to be sure that everybody will be happy. And it's very important for Meilland and for Star Roses also to be sure that we get a strong variety for everywhere and everybody.
Because we don't get any cold weather in Europe. In the opposite of what everybody think, Poland is 6. It's USDA 6. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Poland is nothing in comparison to, and I'm not even talking about Scandinavia because this one's 6. So we have a difficulty for testing in the cold weather. That's why we rely on US, we rely on China, and prior Russia and all that. Kazakhstan also in Almaty and stuff like that. And then we have a problem for hot and humid. We don't have hot and humid climate. We don't have the bayou. We lost Louisiana a long time ago. And so we're testing in South Florida. We're testing also in Shenzhen in China for getting that data. Okay. And mostly what I love is people on Facebook, on Instagram saying, oh, I want this rose. And I keep telling them, we test everything that doesn't perform well is not released in the country. So it's no use to try to fit some budwood somewhere in the bag to bring it back. If it didn't fit, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Well, we have a very strong, our group is very diverse, but we have a lot of Southern gardeners, a lot of people from Florida and Texas and Georgia. So you can always pop into our Facebook group and see lots of Southern gardeners here. That's where we ship a lot of our roses, is to the deep South. And they're always, they love your roses. So, yeah.
So everything is tested in Georgia and I think also Florida.
That's important for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big markets for the US for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of missed, I thought maybe we'd have Matthias, if you wouldn't mind, could you give everyone maybe a little short history of Meilland, and because you're the 6th generation, right?
Short will be complicated. We started
as long as you want. People, they want to hear it. They want to hear from you.
Have a break, Guillaume. Have a coffee, please. So we started 176 years ago, approximately, because as you can imagine, we don't have the exact date when my great-great-great-grandfather decided to put some pollen on a variety and harvest the seeds. We have no idea the precise date. All we know is that he created a couple of nice varieties, but didn't have the guts of commercialize it. And his son-in-law, I've decided to make a paper and to sell the varieties from his father-in-law. And that's how it started. Basically, you had the first, it was a breeder with idea of breeding. And the second was the one that say, okay, let's sell that. Then after the Meilland arrived in that family by marrying the daughter which is Madame Meilland, actually, is the famous peace rose was named after her. And they created that son that was Francis Meilland, which is a really nice rose now, but was also the breeder of peace, and the guy that came in 1935 in US by himself by selling a couple of seeds of a peach tree, paid a boat, because at the time you had to travel by boat, and arrive in US, cross the United States with Mr. Pyle's help, visit all the new technology, which was, you're going to see, that was a great technology. Selling roses with picture on catalogs with color. And that blew his mind. He was crazy about it. And he thought that is the future. The fridge to keep the bare roots. And also something that was really recent in US was the Plant Patent Act of 1930. That was just 5 years old. And so my grandfather took the law, learned the law. He was barely speaking English at the start. Huh? He learned, yes. And so that's why every Meilland in the family has to speak approximately a proper Californian English with a slight Texan accent. That's better. And so basically, my grandfather came back with all those ideas. Second World War, start to do the breed of the peace rose, and then the peace rose became history. My grandfather died pretty young. It was in 1958, and since that, my father is the boss of the company since 1958. So if we can keep him for 2 years, Guillaume, we will have a big party soon.
Good.
Because that will be his 70th anniversary of being the boss. So that's quite impressive. Yes, he's I'm not saying that because he's my father, huh? And you can imagine, as a son, I hate my father like every other son. But basically, he is a genius of rose, definitely, and he is like the Bible. You can read him, and it's incredible. He just knows approximately everything about roses. It's impressive. And since that, well, I studied in US and arrived in the family of rose in 2013, because I was doing everything I could to not sit in my father's chair.
Yes.
And I messed it. As you can see, I'm sitting in that chair right now. So, voila. But yeah, the idea was to open the selection in comparison to other breeders. So we are not one breeding company. We also represent a lot of breeders. So we have Keisei, which is from Japan. We have some breeders from New Zealand. We have some breeders from China. Tianlong, which is now a little bit known on internet. Well, we represent him worldwide. We're testing his varieties right now and checking what there is. We have some Indian. We have some breeders from Europe for sure, and from US. David Slesak, Will Radler, for sure. We work with Star since 91 years this year.
90
we work with Star. Yeah. We are a good partner.
Good partner.
Because we don't change our partners unless our partner is asking us to change. We're quite we're not too bad at that. And we try to help always the market and even our friends and our competitors when they have problem. Right now we're working a lot for India, because there's a lot of problem of law in India for breeders to be recognized. And we are opening Southeast Asia, because there's a lot of things going on in Vietnam, Thailand, there's Indonesia, there's Malaysia. So it's a place where we want the roses to develop also. And that's why we are in Shenzhen in South Florida. So Meilland is always trying to gather as many people as they can inside the house, so we can compete within each other and then be stronger on the market. Mm-hmm. And basically trying to fit the roses where they are not supposed to be. Mm-hmm. As a joke, I was saying that I leave the moon to my son, but new information seems that we might throw roses in the sky earlier than that. So that's good.
Roses on the moon?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
One of the things that we talk about in our Facebook group a lot is the fragrance of Meilland roses. Of all the breeders, and I've grown pretty much a rose from every breeder in the world, I come back over and over and over again that there are no roses that smell as good as Meilland roses. How have you bred fragrance, the classic, beautiful rose fragrance, and the different notes of roses, obviously. How has that come about? Because of all the breeders in the world, your roses are consistently the most fragrant, hands down, no doubt about that.
Well, Guillaume can answer better than me on that subject, because that's really breeding technique. But all I can say is the first thing we do when we meet a new rose is we smell it.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you have a strong fragrance on the rose, she takes 10 points in our selection program just because she's cute and she has fragrance.
Yeah.
So that's a stupid French answer. Now the scientific one.
Oh, that's a really good point, because I will tell you before you answer, Guillaume, that in our Facebook group, these ladies and a few gentlemen, these people are in the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of roses in their gardens, right? These are fanatical collectors, right? That's why we exist. We exist here because we cater to the fanatics, and in a good way. And
I like it.
We talk about this in the Facebook group when there's 15 pink roses in front of you and you only have 3 spaces left. Well, you got to weed out. If they're all beautiful and they all perform beautifully, ultimately fragrance is gonna win over amongst other things if they all kind of look the same, right? Like fragrance is going to be that differentiator. So people in our Facebook group tend to, because they are big collectors and they get to a point where they have so many, they have to move to fragrance and say, if it smells the best, I want it. So fragrance is a really big deal, I know, for our collectors, for sure. Would you say, hey?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's we get asked all the time, what are people looking for the most in roses? Since we have direct access, as you can see, our wonderful customers here, they tell us, we love hearing from them. The number one thing is fragrance. It goes fragrance, color, form, and then disease resistance. It seems to be those 3. Now, some people in the Southeast might put disease resistance a little bit higher, but for a rosarian and for someone who's growing roses for the passion of roses, it's fragrance, color, form, and disease resistance. So it's just fascinating to me. And you're right. It's every time you see a rose, no matter what it is, the first thing you do is you put your nose in the rose, and people want the experience of fragrance. They want to lighten their senses. So, and when a rose doesn't have that, it's kind of like, wait, they put their nose deeper in the rose. Like, where is it? Where I can't find it. So I think fragrance has definitely taken a big leap in what people are looking for. So, yeah. Well, awesome. Well, speaking of fragrance, should we go into introducing our 2 new roses, and maybe you guys can tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. So today, everyone, we're not going to tell you the names. We're just going to show you pictures. We're still finishing up some trademarking work. So, but we are going to show you the pictures. And Nick, if you're on the back end, if you could let me share my screen, and I will share the pictures. The first one we're going to go through is what Gracie likes to call better than Ashley. Guillaume Mateus, I don't know if you guys know the Ashley rose. Gracie can probably speak a little more to it than I can because she has more experience with it, but people love that rose because it's fragrant and it's the beautiful pink in the form of the petals. But it was never really designed to be outside.
It's a tantau, but it doesn't have a lot of fragrance. It just has vase life and beautiful form. And the form of our new rose with you reminds me a little bit of Ashley, but it's wildly fragrant. So, and Ashley's very popular in this group.
Yep. Let me present here. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this. Share my screen.
You got it?
I think so.
I wonder if Jenny needs to leave the stage in order for you to pop up there. I'm not sure. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is, as you can see, beautiful pink. In France, they give them battle names. So, which I've always loved because, when there's thousands of seedlings, they give them numbers, right? And the numbers get jumbled. And so they get these what are called battle names. And I'm curious, Guillaume and Matthias, how do you give them a battle name? Like who chooses this? Because this one's battle name is Baffin. Is that correct?
Yes. So normally we do not talk about battle names outside of
Oh,
it.
okay. Never
No,
mind.
it's fine.
I mean,
It's fine.
It's fine. But
It's fine. It's fine.
good to know.
Well, battle name is every year you have a letter, exactly like dogs and cats. Every year you have a letter. And so you decide how many varieties, Guillaume? It's like 40. Yeah?
Yeah, 30 to 40 per year get a battle name.
And usually it's a town or it's something that a German, a French, and an Italian can pronounce.
We try to.
We try to have something that every European will be able to pronounce. So to have less difficulty.
Makes sense.
Awesome. So
and then ask the Japanese to pronounce it.
Oh yes, the Japanese can pronounce it too. So tell us a little bit about this rose. I know the first thing that struck us was fragrance. It was just like incredible.
Me, I was very excited when I learned that you would introduce this variety because for me, it's the best fragrance I know on a rose. Because it has a strong fragrance, but it's quite complex, but it's still delicate. Yeah, for me, the fragrance of this variety is amazing. It's the best I can smell because it has some kind of sweet fragrance, but also some floral fragrance, and it's a very good combination. And yeah, the fragrance is amazing. It's a huge flower. I don't remember in inches how you say.
Probably 5.
Yeah,
like
5 inches, I would say.
Yeah, 4 to 5.
So with a very double flower, around 60, 70 petals, so a big amount of petals. Color is medium pink with some tones of lavender. Good shelf life and good vase life for this variety, a bright foliage. It has very good disease tolerance. It's quite tall. It will be a very upright plant. And yeah, the flower is amazing.
I love how it opens. It opens and it's really layered and has the petals are kind of pointed at the tips.
Yeah.
When it opens. So yeah, this one's strongly hybrid tea too. It seems like in all our observations, it's been very much like a single flower per stem.
Yes. It will be, I would say, 4 feet tall.
Nice. That's a nice size.
Yeah. We're really excited about this one because the fragrance on this is incredible. And it was trialed in Pennsylvania, which is considered rose hell, where pretty much any disease that can get to a rose. Kristen at Star always used to tell me, Heidi, if it lives in Pennsylvania, it's a good rose. So when she tells me she's very like particular, and I love that about her because she's very like no nonsense, no fluff. It's like, no, won't do good. This won't do good. And this one is like, she loved it. As soon as I told her what we were looking for, she's like, you need to see this one. So I love it when Kristen would get excited about things because I knew that, and I was so happy that Star wasn't going to introduce. I'm like, we'll take it. We'll be so honored to have this rose because it really is beautiful. So.
Yeah, I will have a lot of pink. Sometimes they complain when I show a new pink. And so at the moment, we didn't find a place for this one. And yeah, the fragrance is so amazing. I was super happy when I learned that you will introduce it.
Yeah, you can see how this is our stock block in California as we were observing it. And we noticed that the timing of it reminded me of Martha Stewart. It took a little bit longer to bloom. It seems like when flowers are larger and there's more petals, it takes a little bit longer to get started. But wow, the foliage was so glossy and fresh and clean, like all the time. And once it started blooming, it just kept sending up new blooms. So anyway, we really were impressed by this as we watched it. So, yeah, there's some really good ones. Okay. Let's introduce our other one. We bring up some other pictures. This one I have to tell you.
Just one stuff about that rose.
Yeah.
I was just double checking, and it was a gold medal and a fragrant prize in Courtrai in Belgium, and it was a public prize of the most fragrant rose also in Belgium in L'Heureux. Just because I was checking my notes.
Oh,
So
awesome.
two big prize of fragrance rose in Europe.
Yeah.
Good for Heidi to add to the website.
Hey, yeah, you need to like type that out to me and send it to me. We'll add it in our descriptor.
I will.
So is Belgium going to introduce it then, or has it already been introduced in Europe?
No. That's the
rocket.
Yeah, first introduction in the word is you actually. So then after we have 4 years to introduce it in Europe, 6 years to introduce it in China, 4 years to introduce it in Japan, Korea, Australia. So the life of that rose will start with you.
Yeah. Starts tomorrow. Tomorrow's our first day of sale. So we're excited.
You need it in your garden just for the fragrance.
Yeah. That just makes me so happy to hear that, because that's just like so important to gardeners, you know, especially when you get a pink, because there is a lot of pink roses, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's got to be something special for someone to add another pink rose and to have something so fragrant. And own root too. You guys, it produces on own root, which is wonderful. So it makes it more winter hardy. It's more accessible to more people in the US and those colder zones. So that's another reason why we're really excited about it. Is a lot of the other florist type roses that are pink and fragrant, they have to be budded. They're not as winter hardy, some of them. So that's another great aspect of Meilland roses. They have an own root program at Meilland, which is a really unique thing in a rose breeder. So
we
test everything on root.
Yeah. And because their own root, we can produce them faster for everyone. So it'll sell out quickly, but because it's own root, we can produce more quickly. So that'll be great.
Well, I'm going to show a picture of the next one. So before I show this one, when I was walking the research block, and they're pointing out a few roses to me as options for potentially having the exclusive on. I walked by this one and I was like, what is this? It was one of the largest flower heads I've ever seen. It like our grower, our Better Bear Rose grower, she was like, Heidi, it's one of the largest flowers I've ever seen. And when you see a large research block, to give everyone an example of what a research block looks like, they're planted 6 inches apart. You know, like they're very close together. You know, they're not growing roses there for the big blooms. They're testing production in California in that research block in particular. And to see a rose with this big of blooms is really incredible. So I'm going to show you. Let me share my screen again. Share my screen. Okay, Nick, if you could put that on. So you can see here just how dark the foliage is and how big the flower is. So I'm really excited to have this one. So I'm curious, Guillaume and Matthias, tell us a little bit about this rose and what you've seen with it.
Yeah, so it's also a very exciting one. One thing you can see on this picture, because we don't see very well the flower, is that this variety is more compact. So it's really an objective from us to have a more compact hybrid tea, because we love Delish, we love Francis Meilland, but we know they are quite tall, and if we could have more compact hybrid teas below the window, it will be a good objective. So this one is more compact and more bushy, and so also more blooming. It has as Adi said, this huge flower, which are cup shape, romantic shape, beautiful romantic shape, and color is dark pink with some, violet, exactly the color and the shape. So around 40 to 50 petals, a little bit less petals, Beautiful dark pink color, very luminous color, strong fragrance also. It's mandatory, of course. It's remind me with less petal a little bit Love Me Not, if you already know this new introduction from Meilland, with a little bit the same color. Also bright foliage, as you can see on the picture. So it's a good combination of flower shape, romantic flower color, and bright foliage. Yeah, it's a beautiful variety.
Excited to have this one. I was really impressed by the bud form as it was beginning to open, and just how big it was. It's just so impressive, and how compact. And you're exactly right. It reminds me of how Loves Me Not grows, where you have that compact hybrid tea. But the flower form is definitely different, like you said. Loves Me Not is there's so many petals in there, and our customers love Loves Me Not, by the way. they love that rose. So this one's a little different. There's less petals, but it's like a larger flower to me, I think. And but it's still very fragrant, and the color is really beautiful. Mm-hmm. I took this picture in California when it was really, really hot too. So I also like that it didn't fade in the heat. So
yeah, so in California, it's in the middle of the desert. So when it's getting hot, flowers are struggling a lot, and to have a variety which is able to grow in this condition, it's a good plus.
Also own root too, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
So another own root, beautiful rose from Meilland with fragrance, color, performance. So and I love the burgundy foliage too. Like when you get that beautiful burgundy with those berry tones in the color, I think it's a really beautiful contrast.
Mm.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, those are our two new Meillands, exclusive Meillands that we're going to be releasing tomorrow. We'll be having names for you shortly. We want to introduce it all together. We have a whole beautiful concept that we're going to introduce to all of you. So let's maybe go over, we have a little bit of time to talk a little bit about some other new introductions from Meilland. So tell us a little bit about the Friendly Roses. The Friendly Roses are brand new in the US, and I loved them when I saw them in France. I'm just curious. Tell us the story of the Friendly Roses, because I want them to hear it from you, because when I hear you guys talk about the Friendly Roses, it gets me excited. So,
Matthias, do you want to start?
Well, I mean, the Friendly Roses was my sister. I know I'm frozen. Everybody's laughing on Facebook, so I keep telling them I'm not frozen, I'm fresh. That's different. So basically, the Friendly Roses was the idea was to mimic traditional roses that you find in the mountain in Europe, like single flowers, but with the disease resistance and specifically the blooming power of a modern rose. And so they are actually siblings coming from the same cross. So same father, same mother, and they are exactly the same. They react the same. And so you can, instead of having one color, you can mix it together. And they have that beautiful single rose type of shape, but also they give you really good fruits during the summer and still flowers, which is really good actually for the environment. So that was the idea of the Friendly Rose, to be environmentally friendly. And it's also for a part of the gardeners that is a new type of gardener in Europe, but you have the same in US. Is the people that left the big cities during the COVID moment, and that decided to lay back in the countryside, because with internet you can work pretty much from everywhere. And so we had a lot of people that left the big cities in Europe and decided to set up in the countryside, and the Friendly Rose was for them. Easy to maintain, mimicking natural type of rose, but with a real performance of a modern rose.
Yeah, I saw these, they had them planted all over the kind of the hotel where you would stay there. And also I saw some really older landscape plantings of these. And one of the things that really stuck out to me is just how beautiful and big the flowers are. Our customers are starting to really starting to get into these single kind of really fully open, like Dainty Bess is a really good example of one that people are just loving the stains and the look of the inside. And so the friendly roses are really, high performance roses. In fact, if I remember right, Mateus, we had honey that you gave us that.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how you had that like beehive next to these in the field.
Well, that's more Guillaume. Guillaume is the, how do you call it? Like the green advisor for us.
Yeah, we had the question if we could make honey with roses. So we tried. We put bees in the field and we analyzed the honey, and we found that bees love roses. And honey was, I think it's never 100%, but it was 70% rose honey. So it works very well, and it makes a very nice and sweet honey. So we have the confirmation that bees love honey and all pollinators love honey. So, but for that they need single flower, because if the flower is too double, they cannot go inside the flower, so they cannot eat. So it's important also to have single flowers. And what I would add on these varieties is that usually people do not like single flower because they do not last very long. Like one flower will last for 2-3 days and drop the petals. These ones have very long-lasting bloom, like the bloom will stay 3 weeks in a plant. And so also it means that you can make vases and you can use it also as cut flower. And we have a grower in Kenya which is starting to grow them as cut flower, because there is a trend for single flowers also for bouquets for big cities like Paris, etc. So you can grow them in your garden for the bees, but also harvest some stems to make bouquets with them.
Yeah, Guillaume, you're right. I forgot to mention that, because basically one of the things that made us select it was for shipping the plants to the garden centers. Because when you have a single rose, the garden center doesn't want to take it because it's too small of a, how you call it? Oh, I have the French word in the brain. For shelf life, sorry.
Shelf life,
and
yeah.
And those one, we try it in a truck and we sent it to Germany, and there was not a flower drop on it. So that's why it was so important to release them also. And don't forget that at Meilland, we release also varieties sometimes for breeder to be able to breed on it. The idea behind is our competitors can have access to the material to create new varieties, so we can have access to their baby. So that was a busy discussion, because basically those petals was quite amazing to stay like that on the plant. And you can make a wonderful bouquet with it, as it is on this picture.
And even when it has fruits,
Go ahead, Guillaume.
No. I just wanted to add that even when it has fruit, it's still blooming. Usually, rose, when it's starting to have fruit, it says, okay, I did my job for the year. I stop blooming because I have enough fruits, and I stop blooming. And this variety have fruits, but still continue to bloom. So you have a very good combination in fall of flowers and fruits. And they make beautiful red fruits also, which is a good addition in fall for these varieties.
Yeah, that's why I loved it so much. It's so versatile, but also easy to grow. And I love that it can be in bouquets for so long too, where usually singles don't last very long in bouquets, like you said. And so it's so important to have that different texture as you're making bouquets with really big roses, like our two new roses, or Loves Me Not, or Martha Stewart. You need that different texture. And so that's a really beautiful story of this. So, well, awesome. Well, we want to leave it open. We wanted to leave enough time for some Q&A from our customers. So maybe we'll see if anyone has questions. If you want to put them in the chat for Guillaume and Mateus, and we'll have them answer all your questions. Let's see.
Some people wanted to know if the friendly roses had fragrance and if they're good for landscaping.
Unfortunately, they have no fragrance, but they are very good for landscaping. For example, maybe some of you know ADR, which is a German, how do you say?
Trial, the ADR rose trials.
Exactly, there are rose trials. It's 11 garden in Germany, and it's to confirm, first of all, disease tolerance and ability to bloom in all Germany. But usually, yeah, when you get an ADR, it's quite difficult to get ADR. We have 4 varieties, and 3 of the 4 are ADR. So it shows that it's performed very well in different conditions. It has very good disease tolerance, and yeah, it was selected first for landscape.
Awesome. Let's see. Laura asks, are the 2 new roses, are 2 new explosives container friendly?
It depends on the size of the container.
Great answer.
I would say US pot, yes. European pot is smaller. It's much smaller in Europe.
Yeah, the US, everything's big in the US, right?
I know. You have the car that put those pots in. We don't.
Yeah, that's right. Your guys' cars are too small.
But yeah, in US it should be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, in a 5 gallon, you can grow them without problem, I think.
They want to know if we'll ever see Mini Eden here, Mini Eden in the US.
Well, it's a German selection, and I don't think it was really performing well in US. And I don't want to say that, but they will be disappointed because they expect a small Eden rose, and actually is just an Eden with smaller flowers.
Mm. Yeah.
So it's nice. It's really nice. We release it, no problem about it. But it's in US you like it bigger usually.
Yeah.
Everything.
I know this question is going to come because it always comes. What about chocolate romantica?
Well, you just ask Star. Don't ask us. We don't. We provide the budwood. That's all. Well, it's the same for David Hockney and all that. I mean, please, everybody, try it. See if it's working. If it's working, I mean, just ask for the release of it. It's that simple.
Yeah.
I think chocolate romantica died in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I think so.
I think you're right.
I'm sure it did. Well, the story behind Chocolat Romantica, it's our Japanese team that released that only for cut flower. Then it arrived in Kenya for cut flower. Then it arrived in China without our agreements, but we catch it back by the ears. And now it's released in China as a cut in the garden. And now there's a big discussion in Europe saying, well, we don't care about disease resistance. It's too beautiful. So, that's always the story between getting a good plant and getting what people want. Is the Black Baccarat story. Black Baccarat, 20 years, still on the top 10 of sales. And when you see it in the garden, you just want to cry. But that's why people love it. I'm not going to say it's bad because it's a good variety. Beautiful black.
It is. A little bit of mildew. Little bit.
Oh, so much of everything on it. But what I tell people,
great cut flower. It's an amazing.
Yes, exactly.
Flower.
Yes.
For those varieties, that's what I tell everybody. You just cut the flowers before it blooms. Like just at the cutting stage, you cut it. You make your own bouquet at home. The plant will thank you by giving you 2 more flowers, and you will have less disease. So this is the way to take care of those varieties for cut flower. Is you cut the flower, you make your own bouquet, add a little foliage. I'm not going to do the master class for that because I suck at making bouquet. But basically, you do that and your plant will be much more happy.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm still frozen.
You're fresh. Okay. You're fresh.
You're fresh.
Yes.
Everyone wants to know, what are your favorite roses, Guillaume and Matthias?
Go ahead, Guillaume.
How to choose?
Yes.
To choose.
I can't.
Which code is your new favorite right now? Is it 56 18 08 15? No, but let's give names of roses that are commercial, because if not, people are gonna go crazy.
Exactly, and they'll want it tomorrow.
I think for fragrance is the first one you will introduce.
Wow.
Wow. Those are big words there. Wow.
Well, I mean, me right now, I'm really in love with Martha Stewart, and I'm talking about the rose, not the person specifically, but I'm really in love with it, and I can see the performance, and I can see the people really enjoying it. So I'm really happy, because most of us, when we discover all those new roses every year, we always fall in love with a new one every year, and then we get disappointed, exactly like when we were in school. And so basically, it's the beauty of our job is to fall in love every year with something new and then be disappointed by it. So when you fall in love with something and you're not disappointed, that's the true one. And I have to say, always peace, because basically that rose is just the family legacy, and it's fantastic to be able to wear always the pin. There was the stem made in UK recently, the stamp in US made a couple of years ago. So we're really proud of that rose.
Yeah. I do too. Every time I see it in the fields, I just think, wow, that is such a beautiful rose. I mean, after all these years, I mean, that was, but how many years ago was that? That was in the 45?
Well,
So,
bred in 35 and released first in France 42 and then 45 in US.
Yeah.
So 90 years, 80 years. Yeah, 80 years.
The fragrance alone is like.
It's a beautiful rose.
My favorite of the peace roses is Chicago Peace.
Yeah, it's a really nice one.
I love the splash of color. Every bloom is different. It's an incredible rose too.
awesome.
Rouge Royale. Some people are saying they love Rouge Royale. Rouge Royale is a really incredible rose too.
Yeah, it is.
The petal pack on that, the fragrance, that's been a hard one to come by. But this year we have many, so we got lucky this year.
Well, it's a really good rose. I mean, in terms of red fragrance, you don't get better than that right now. And it's a really difficulty, right, for all the breeders to get a good garden red rose with fragrance. It become harder and harder right now. Everybody's looking for it. Mm-hmm. Guillaume is spending a lot of money on that. But I mean, that's the goal. Red rose is still 40% of the market, so people still want red rose.
See, our ladies like pink, but I'm a red girl, so they always.
Well, I mean, it's normal, but if you look at it in garden center, the sales of reds are still 40%. Whatever, we can turn the numbers however we want. It's still worldwide the number one color for roses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we saw that recently when we did our Good Morning America, which was more than just our buyer pool, right? It was like national, and our red offering sold out first with Rouge Royale.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By a long shot, it sold out first. So it's always mind-boggling to me, like that so many people love red when we are so pink focused here. But yeah.
If we have any other questions,
they love red rose. That's what they're saying.
They love Bolero. Bolero is one of my favorite roses. It's just an incredible bloomer for us. It's so compact. It never stops blooming. It loves the heat. The hotter it is, the more that rose blooms. Fragrance comes out in the heat. Bolero is very popular in this group too. Incredible rose for the front of the garden, the border. I just saw Bolero pop up here. Somebody's talking about it. Oh, ball gown. They love ball gown. We love ball gown too. We love all your roses.
Yeah. Oh,
Bolero was a selection US only. Huh?
Oh.
Yeah, it was a really. It's never been released in Europe. So I see people complaining that they don't get Jan Morrow in US, but basically we release what's work somewhere. So US, you have Bolero, and we get Jan Morrow in Europe.
Yeah. Interesting.
Let's see. Looks like our friend Brad Jalbert a breeder from breeder from Canada, sorry, is on here, and he said this Martha Stewart was his #1 pre-sold rose this spring. So,
Oh.
Thanks, Barad.
I think ours too.
yeah, oh yeah.
Well,
Awesome.
a name doesn't make a rose sell, but basically it helps starting its life. So when you have a good name, it's really helped to start the life of the rose.
Mhm.
If you have a shitty name, that's harder. Go sell Drift in France. Drift. It's almost impossible. Doesn't make anybody dream, but well, it works in US.
Yeah. We love the drift roses here. I know, Gracie, you should tell them about when you fell in love with drift roses.
Well, I never really gave landscape roses any real attention because I always loved the cutting roses, the fancy garden roses. And then I discovered the drift roses at Otto and Sons. They have them underplanted beneath their hybrid teas and their grandees, and they just really finish the garden. They truly finish the garden. Like they soften the lines of the beds, they billow out into the beds, and they're always in bloom. And I learned you can just take a hedge trimmer to them. You just whack them back and they come right back. You don't have to do any like hand pruning or anything like that. Like just whack them back and they come right back. They're just the easiest thing to grow, but they truly do finish a space. Like there's no doubt about it. And I love the apricot peach colored one the most. I think it's so pretty. And they're always in bud or bloom, always, except for dormant season, but they always have bud or bloom on them. So I'm a big fan now of them.
That's how we define landscape rose. Actually, one of the point was to be able to do mechanical cutback.
Yeah.
That was really important because your gardener gains so much time by doing just a mechanical cutback, and it's so much easy for whoever is doing the gardening. It's a true difference. Then we don't advertise it for HT at all. We test some HTs right now to be able to be cut back like that, but we prefer to have HTs that we don't have to cut back than HTs that you have to cut back. So that's the idea behind the research right now. If I can say that, Guillaume.
Yes.
Look at him. He's doing the eyes on the side. He's giving away everything. I'm a salesman.
Well, we're excited to see them when they come out, Guillaume.
HT is hybrid tea. HT is hybrid tea.
Yeah.
Somebody asked.
But yes, and drift are a very good combination. You put some drift in the middle of your hybrid teas, and so you have always flowers. And sometimes the bottom part of the plant of HT is not so nice, and so it makes a good combination. And blushing drift, the new one introduced maybe 2 years ago, it's a very good one. Light pink, so a very good combination to hybrid teas, and always in bloom.
Yeah, I love blushing drift. I always say, people always ask me what's your favorite drift. I'm like, blushing. It's the most floriferous. It's the cleanest foliage. It's always, always, always blooming. So it's one of the things we did this year was we wanted to try and tell the story of drift a little better. And so we offer these landscape packages where they can get 10, because we're really trying to tell them that really is the finishing touch. Like you put it all along your borders, your walkways, underneath all your roses. And they sold out like crazy. People love the idea and understanding that, oh, these are like we call them ribbons of roses. It's really a rose that's designed to create ribbons of color throughout the garden. And the new Scarlet Drift that just came out, beautiful.
Oh, yes. This one is amazing.
Yeah, earlier to bloom than the other drifts. I mean, it's very early.
They're asking for more blushing drift. I think we may have blushing drift as a potted rose this year, so stay tuned for that. I will say, when Heidi and I pulled into our Better Bare Root Growers field up in Bakersfield, and onto the left were blushing drift, and it was almost 100 degrees in October, and they were in full bloom. Full bloom. It was magnificent. There must have been, 50,000 plants or something. It was a mass planting. But they were all in full bloom, and it was like really, really hot.
Yeah.
I'll remember that for sure. That was blushing, right? The light pink, Heidi?
Yeah, that was blushing. Yep.
Yeah. And then white was right next to it. And white was also full bloom, beautiful. So.
April wants to know if you guys keep your gardens at home too, or do you keep it at work only?
What does it mean? If we do gardening at home?
Yeah.
Do you have a rose garden or some sort of, do you garden at home? I have
Oh, certainly not.
plants.
No, I'm joking. Well, in Antibes, where we live, where the family live, we have the official field where the family was doing breeding, but it's in the same ground than the family houses. But in the family houses, except 2 or 3 really specific rows that are basically heritage rows, we don't have many, because we have 1,500 down in the garden for doing the crossings.
Mhm.
And then Guillaume, I don't know, Guillaume, do you have roses in your garden in the back?
Yes. So me, I have a new garden since last year, so it's still very new. And the first garden I started here is a rose garden because I wanted to do something nice with flowers, and the easiest plant to grow is roses. So I put all my babies here. I tried to not put non-introduced one yet, but yes, of course, I have roses.
In the village where we have the company in the Var, in the south of France, there's a lot of people that worked in that company since 1956, where we established here. And so there's a lot of codes that are in houses. And my dad goes to check the codes that they have in the houses that was never released. So it's a bit special here. Yeah. Old worker of the company, they say, oh, that's my favorite. Hey, take a plant, put it in your garden. So we trust them with those codes. And some people have 40 years old codes that never was released anywhere in the world, but they have still their plant, and they call my dad and show them picture every spring. So that's the nice part of our job.
Oh, that's sweet.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Stephanie
Awesome.
wanted to know what rose has your favorite fragrance.
Oh, that's hard. Well, I would say Yves Piaget is definitely one of the best fragrance we ever had. The McCartney Rose also, in terms of prize in Rose Trial, it was incredible. And recently, Delish is my favorite. In France, Delish is called Lynn Renault. So maybe in US, you don't really know who's Lynn Renault, but she used to be famous singer in France that used to go to Las Vegas a lot and doing the stuff with the Moulin Rouge style and all that. So you can imagine. And it has the fragrance of a grandmother. It's like, when you have your grandmother in the back of the car and she say, I'll put a little bit of perfume on me, and that's 10 times too much. Well, that's exactly that. It's, oh my God, it's intoxicating. And then Martha Stewart is wonderful fragrance too. Yeah, I would say those.
In terms of fragrance, I would have add the top cream.
Oh yeah.
Top cream is quite a different fragrance and more fruity, and I like this fragrance. It's different from most of the roses we have.
It is. I still love
And
Princess Charlene. It's so
Oh, yeah.
sweet and candy-like and fruity, and it makes me
But you see,
happy.
it's not strong. It's not a strong fragrance. It's a mild fragrance, but really structured. The fragrant people of Grasse told us that it's almost a perfume. Like it's complex as a perfume, and it's not too strong. And people sometimes mistake the strength of the fragrance and the complexity of it. And usually in the rose trial, you get the prize because of the complexity, because those are people that makes perfume that vote for it.
That's
And
really
fragrance is a
interesting.
huge subject. It's a huge subject for roses. What we like actually is to discover. We have a rose only released in Japan. It's stink. It's so stinky. It's horrible. No, Guillaume, it's like smells like what? How you call it?
Uh,
It's like dough.
I don't know what you say in English.
Yeah, it's like the
Dough,
stuff
like-
that you put on your window. It's dough. It's really chemicals, fragrant. And we asked our Japanese friend, why do you choose that variety to release? Does the fragrance is nice to a Japanese nose? And he told us, no, it's bad. We didn't understand. We were like, oh my God, that's crazy. But it's really interesting in terms of fragrance because from like 10 meters from the plant, you can smell it from distance. So it's really, really interesting. And that's what we want to do. Have landscape rose with fragrance that you can smell from afar, like jasmine, for example.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm giving away all your programs, Guillaume. I'm sorry.
This is a long-term objective,
Mm-hmm.
to have roses smelling from far.
Well, we're excited for all the fragrance. Well, we're excited for all the roses. Let's just be real.
We're very thankful that you both could come and talk to us today. And we have a big day tomorrow. We're really excited. And Heidi and Jenny and I have a lot of work today to get ready for tomorrow. It's going to be a big day. People are so excited. And these roses are going to ship out right away. We have the bare roots in hand and they look beautiful. We inspected all of them. Of course, we wouldn't expect anything less. Our better bare root grower grew them for us. So they're all ready to go. Ryan's got them ready to go. So all we have to do is put them on our website. So we're really excited.
Thank you both so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your time. We know it's busy and it was fascinating. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
That was a
Hopefully
pleasure.
we'll make it your way sometime. We're trying. We'd love to visit. So
It's not that hard. You stop in Nice, you come, you have a couple of days in Saint-Tropez, and you'll enjoy the rosé over there.
hey, me and Jenny. Yeah, amazing. Thank you both.
Thank you
Thank you very
very
much.
much.
All right.
Day.
All right.
All right. Bye. Thank you.